we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here. Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. How you doing, best? JSJ. We got the championships in our hands. We've got the title. Oh man, watch out, rest of the NBA. That's what I heard earlier this week, and now we suck again. Rigged. All these great things that are happening. It's great to have you here on the latest Pop Culture Cosmos coming up to you for your Monday morning drive. Josh Peterson and I hit a ton of subjects, including Predator Badlands, including GTA 6 being delayed, including also as well what's going on with Netflix, with Stranger Things, The Witcher, talking about as far as a ton of good stuff in the video game world. Sales marks reached for Nintendo Switch 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Plus, we continue our search down the MCU timeline, this time with Spider-Man 2. We're going to be talking about that as we lead you into next year's Avengers Doomsday. So go ahead and check out the latest Pop Culture Cosmos. Right now it's available on video on YouTube, but if you want it for your listening pleasure, it's clean. It's not Joe Sorrell cursing up a storm. It's actually just clean. It's a good hour of clean listening that's put on radio stations worldwide, but also available to you on Monday morning, right there for you on your Monday morning drive on the Pop Culture Cosmos channel, indeed. Also want to mention, Sean popped in and out. Still think he's having some connectivity issues, but I did want to mention, speaking of Sean Grice, the Magic Man, that's right, you can decide what Sean gets for his next Lakers jersey. Okay, I put it in the post for the Lakers Fast Break YouTube channel. So if you take a look at it, you go to posts, the latest posts, it's a poll on who you think should be the next jersey for the Magic Man, Sean Grice. Your choices are Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, or an other player. And if you mention the other player, you got to let me know what it is. If you go to other player and you select other player, you have to let me know who it is. So if you guys all want Bronny for the next jersey for Magic Man Sean Grice, you have to list it because it's got to count against the other votes that are tabulated. So otherwise, I can't tell you or don't know what it is. So there's a poll right now on the channel. If you go to posts on the channel, it's the last post. You'll see it right there. You can decide what Magic Man will get for his next Laker jersey. You have a week to decide. It's until it ends next Saturday. So you have a week to decide. What do you want? Luka, LeBron, Austin, or another Lakers player? Go ahead and vote today on the Lakers Fast Break. You don't need to be a member. It's for everyone. So right there for you on the Lakers Fast Break channel, indeed. If you do want to become a member, of course, like, subscribe. It's always a good thing. It's always helpful. But also as well, if you become a member today, it's just $2.99 a month. And you'll be getting early my NBA observations with Caleb Ponce. If I have more NBA observations besides just Caleb Ponce, that will come early to you guys too. And I've tried to reach out to all the individuals that I interviewed over the course of the summer for the other teams. So hopefully I can bring you more NBA observations. And if you're interested, you'll get those videos early, plus anything I can that I create on the fly that's not a post game like this. Usually will go up early for members. So you got to become a member today, plus the perks in the chat. You get the little stuff that's in there as far as the little widgets and the little things that are in there, as far as all the little pictures, the gifts of me and everybody else and all that. Go ahead and check it out today for just $2.99 a month. Becoming a member, indeed. All right. So Lakers. Oh, and don't forget Drip Show, man. At Drip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter for your holiday needs. Look at that. Luka, he looks a lot happier than what he did tonight. And Kobe, the legend himself, plus Kobe and Gigi Pillow right here at Trip Show Shop on Instagram and Twitter. And don't forget the Lakerholics crew. They were on earlier today, Lakerholics.com. And, they kind of talked about the Lakers being 4-1 on this road trip. And not the way you really want to start the road trip as the Lakers today. And I'll just put it like this. Do you guys remember on Monday, Lakers headed into Portland, didn't have LeBron, didn't have Luka, didn't have AR. Didn't look like we have a chance against a team. This is the second day of a back-to-back. Didn't have a chance going up against Portland on their almost entire full roster. A team that was writing some success, team that was writing really some good notes so far this season. Didn't look good for the Lakers. But the Lakers went in there shorthanded as they were, and they pulled out a really strong victory in Portland. Well, the NBA giveth, the NBA taketh away, because today we didn't have AR, didn't have LeBron, but we still had Luka and most of the rest of the roster, including a returning Maxi Kleber. Yay! As we went into Atlanta to face off against a severely depleted Atlanta Hawks. No Kristaps Porzingis, illness management there. No Jalen Johnson. Back-to-back games for them, so they decided not to play them. Trae Young's out for several weeks, and the other players on the Atlanta Hawks were injured. Their best players were not in there. So what happens when you go in there on the start of a 5-game road trip, riding high with one of the best records in the NBA? Well, you lay a dud, and the Lakers on both sides of the floor laid a dud. As far as on the offensive end, couldn't get really much going. Defensive end, it was even worse. They gave up 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. And it just got worse from there in the third quarter. You thought the first half was bad. It got worse. I believe they went on a 20-0 run, if I remember correctly. They just absolutely just kicked it in overtime as they were up by almost 30 in the game. And then they just cruised. After that point, it was all garbage time for the rest of the game. After that terrible third quarter, they were already down by 14 already at the half, and it just got worse from there. 30-18, they were outscored in the third quarter, and it just turned into garbage time the rest of the game. And the Lakers start off the road trip with a big L. They're now 7-3 on the season. 122-102. They lose. And I'll tell you what, I'm very, very disappointed in the Lakers today. Their effort was terrible, but I'm looking forward to seeing what some of the guys that they come on. I know John Costa said he was going to be here. I know Legend said he was going to be here. I mean, Legend, this is his team, one of his 2 teams. I'm hoping that he's going to be able to stop by and share some thoughts on this, because I know that a lot of people were saying that this game was over. Tough came in today. Tough, so love you, man. Nothing but love. Okay, you'll be on in a few, Legend. Nothing but love for you, Tough. So, but when this game was just about ready to start, you said, "Oh, this should be an easy game for the Lakers," or paraphrasing something like that. Tough. You thought it would be an easy game for the Lakers, but if you flash back to Monday's game, you realize you got to play everything out in the NBA. And I said at that time before the game started, said, if you remember Monday night's game, don't take tonight for granted. The Lakers did, and they got plucked off by the Hawks, 122-102. I want to hear what you guys said. Yes, Hernan. Yes, I do know that. I am aware of that. Hernan, the Lakerholic show, not this week, but if you go back to last week, Jamie Sweet was on. He hosted the Lakerholic Spotlight that he normally does. I don't want to put political things on this show. I know that Tom did for a few minutes today, and it just kind of like, I really wish you wouldn't. I'd like to keep this a sports and entertainment show, and like to go ahead and just let the politics be whatever it is you guys decide on. That's up to you. I respect your opinion, either which way, either which side. But I do know Mark Walters' connections to that Hernan, and I will just say this: if you go back 1 week ago to the Lakerholics, not today, not earlier today, but the previous Saturday, when Jamie Sweet near the end of the show said some detailed thoughts on it, you'll get a much bigger and clearer picture on that. And I'll just leave it at that. I have issues with it? Of course, it's there, and it's obviously going to really affect some people. But again, it's one of those things where if Mark Walter comes in here and the Lakers start winning and the Lakers start going ahead and win championships, does everybody forget about that other side? Again, I'll leave that up to you. I respect your opinion either which way. I just want success for the Lakers going forward. And we'll leave it at that. And Mark Walter, I guess Tom, if you heard on today's Lakerholics, has a direct line now to Mark Walter via Twitter. I guess Mark Walter is now following Laker Tom, supposedly the Mark Walter. Okay, and that they had a conversation. He'll tell you if you guys listened to the show earlier today. So you can take that for what it's worth, and I'll leave it at that. But it is, of course, the Lakers. They lose 122-102. Terrible effort on both sides of the ball. Again, if this was your one loss, I don't think it was on your bingo card that this would be the one loss the Lakers would incur on the road trip, especially with Oklahoma City coming up in a couple games, and also as well Milwaukee on the back end of a back-to-back. So this is not the greatest thing in the world, but I want to hit up some of you guys' comments. Juan said, with this team, Gerald, and our defense, all games will be hard, very little bounce. Each game will be a battle. We might lose 3 or 4 in a row. We might win 4. Well, again, if you don't show the effort, tonight was all about effort. Monday was all about effort. Why did the Lakers win so shorthanded in Portland? Because they gave the better effort over the talent that was out there. The Portland had a much superior talent. Why did they lose? Because the Lakers wanted that game more, and it showed. Today, the execution and the effort for Atlanta was off the charts as they passed the ball around. They looked like a complete offense. They looked like a complete defense, forcing the Lakers into poor shots. And on the offensive end, passing the ball around and getting open looks at the 3. Absolutely a great job by Quinn Snyder today, coaching his team. And you wouldn't know this was a 5-5 team to start off the season by the way they played today. They had just a tremendous performance. 3 guys who were shooting terrible from 3 coming into this game, and Guy Ricochet, and also who's the other one? Krejci. They were all shooting terrible from 3. Krejci actually still shot terribly from 3, but overall they were 41% from 3, 16 of 39. Absolutely a great performance from them. They put it all together. They got it up by double-digit lead at the half, and then they just poured it on the third quarter and became a non-entity for the game. Went into garbage time, and the Lakers lose 122-102. They fall to 7-3 on the season. I don't want to make too much out of this yet. Again, I said, you guys slow down. When I say guys slow down on the anointing the Lakers as the champions, like Laker Tom did earlier today, like some others in the chat were on Wednesday. This is why. It's an 82-game marathon. They're going to have your ups and downs. We have to see exactly where the Lakers lie more and more season. We're going to get a bigger test on where we're at. We're going to get a bigger taste of who they are as the season goes on. But you are going to have duds like these every now and then, and they certainly did. Is this a sign of things to come, or is this a sign of more things that are needed in place? Yes. I mean, obviously, we do need the whole team to be together. We do need LeBron and AR back in there, obviously, to help with the depth issue. And when Luka's not hitting at all cylinders today, he was absolutely terrible out there shooting wise, 7 of 17, 22 points, didn't get to the line very much. It just absolutely was kind of disappointing from him all the way around. DeAndre Ayton only gave you 11, Jake LaRavia 13, Rui Hashimura 8, Marcus Smart 5. Dalton came off the bench to give you 14, but as apropos, he got most of that in garbage time. Jared Vanderbilt had 18 rebounds today, gave you some good effort, was the only one that was really giving good effort. So to no jokers, one of his big supporters, credit, he gave you 12 and 18 today. But even he made mistakes. If you saw in the first half where he dribbled over half court and dribbled it right into the hands of the opposing team, who got an immediate layup on the other end. So even he had some issues as well. Bronny James chipped in with 9, but that was again garbage time points. This team has to take this loss with a lot of seriousness as a tone setter going forward. Do they just go ahead and sulk through the rest of the 5 games and come out of it 2-3, 1-4? Or do they just shake things up, say, you know what, we got our turkey out of the way ahead of Thanksgiving, and we're just going to go ahead and take out the rest on for the next 4 games and see what we can do to win all the rest of them. So, but we'll see. Patroon says the Hawks injuries made them better. The Hawks defensive rating without Trae Young is 108. The rating was 127 with him on the court. Again, his defensive issues have been noted, but again, his offensive attributes have also been noted when normally he's playing well, but he hasn't started the season well before he got injured. So again, when he comes back, we'll have to see what it looks like from there. But not having Jalen Johnson, not having Porzingis, not having a good portion of your lineup in there, you know what? You have to make it up for in effort. And we saw a better effort from Atlanta today, just like we saw from the Lakers in Portland the other night. We'll go ahead and get some of your guys' comments. Truly appreciate you joining us. What a great contest already as far as you guys putting out a lot of good stuff out there. Ryan says, how can they beat the Spurs and lose to the Hawks bench? Again, it's the inconsistency of this bench. You guys were reading a lot into Nick Smith Jr. getting that great game of 25 points. He hasn't been that same player since. That's partly the reason why he was waived by Charlotte, is inconsistency. And you see what in 2 ways, you see the potential, what he can do, but can he give you that on a more often basis? You saw as far as off the bench, Vanderbilt was the only one really giving any type of continued effort. And that was obviously not enough for tonight, but the starting lineup is also a lot of fingers go there because tonight, Marcus Smart didn't have it. Tonight, Rui Hachimura didn't have it. Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic himself, 22 points, 11 assists. It looks good on paper to most players, but for him, this was definitely an off night, and they have to do something much more substantial going forward. But we'll see what happens. Again, it's just the first game on the trip. They can make up for this by winning it. If they make up for this by winning in Oklahoma City, winning their next 2 games, winning in Milwaukee on the second night of a back-to-back, winning in New Orleans, if they make up for this and finish out and close out the rest of the road trip, then we'll put this behind us as an aberration. We'll put this behind us as something that maybe we can go ahead and discard. But I have a feeling you guys got to take note of this because, again, there are still glaring needs and issues that this team has, and consistency from your rotation is one of them. And a lot of these guys you saw tonight are rotation players. And can you get consistent effort from them, consistent execution from them as well? Best League says, oh my God, Dennis Schroeder really he will be a Hall of Famer. He has to retire first, Best League, but he will be a Hall of Famer based on his European play, because he is one of the best European players of all time with his massive success for the German national team. Danny says, Uncle Gerald, I've been out all day. I didn't watch the game. What happened? Tell me what happened, Uncle Gerald. Basically, in a nutshell, Danny, I will give you this. The Lakers came in there thinking that this would be an easy game because most of the best players for Atlanta were out tonight. But unfortunately, in the first half, They fell behind by double digits based off of good execution on both the offensive and defensive ends for Atlanta. They had a lot of players that normally haven't stepped up so far this season stepped up. They stepped up well for them, including, like I mentioned earlier, as far as not only Mohamed Guy, who scored 21 tonight, Zachary Ricochet, who scored 19. Both those guys were struggling from the three. They were hot from three and kept on going. Keaton Wallace was 4 of 8 from three. They didn't even need a whole lot from Dyson Daniels, who was 10 points, 13 assists. He only got 1 steal, but it was Asa Newell, their first round draft pick, coming off the bench to get 17 and 4 steals for them, even getting 2 3-point shots as well. Vit Krejci scored 17 himself off the bench. They got everything they needed. They got bench production. They got starting 5 production. They got good effort on both the offensive and defensive end, Danny. And in that third quarter, when the Lakers really needed to get back into the game, they started off really quick as far as with a couple quick points to get them back with, right around the 10-point mark. And it all fell apart from there as the three-pointer after three-pointer started to fall, and the Lakers went down quickly in the 20s, and they were down by almost 30 at one point during the game, and it was pretty much from there garbage time in the fourth quarter as the Lakers lose 122-102. I do want to hear your thoughts more on this. Truly appreciate you joining us. It is Lakers Fast Break. Gerald Glasser, part of a Lakers weekend. Hopefully your weekend is going to go better than the Lakers, so we'll see what happens. Yes, Tough. No more predictions from you. No. Just kidding, my friend. Leave that to JSJ to do the opposite deal where he says the Lakers lose, and then they end up winning. JSJ is a specialist at that. We'll leave it up to him on that one. But big shout out to you guys. Also, swell Kurt Affair, who provided his great thoughts at the end of playback. And big shout out to all you guys on stage, including, of course, Sports Baby, Sean. I think Div was there. I think also Tough was there. So shout out to everybody out was part of the stage on playback tonight. I was in transit, watched the whole game from my car virtually, but I got in just in time to go ahead and get you guys here on the post game. So, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, get on stage because I probably wouldn't have said something I would have, liked or enjoyed and probably would have regretted too. So kind of good that way. But you guys were great in the chat as well on both YouTube and playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break as well. Gustavo says, when I saw James Jr. enter, when he saw Bronny in the second quarter, he said it's over. He said it's over. Well, Bronny, with the way that the rotations are, with the fact that, players are sitting down, load management, the groin issue for AR has been an issue. It's still a little sore, but you should see him sometime on the trip. JJ was quoted as saying, so it is what it is at this point in time. Protrune, the Lakers had injuries and the Hawks were at full strength. Why did people think? No, the Hawks were not at full strength, Patroon. Trey wasn't there. Jalen Johnson wasn't there. That's their best 2 players. Kristaps Porzingis wasn't there. That's their best 3 players. They were not at full strength. What are you smoking? What are you smoking, Patroon? Come on. Juan said, with this team, Gerald, and our defense, yep, that's right. Absolutely. The defense was not good tonight. It showed signs that tonight, and the Lakers had an extra day of rest, even though they did have to travel. They did have an extra day off heading into tonight's game, and it was just disappointing that I saw a lack of effort for having 2 days off on that. For instance, I've lived the Lakers, and unfortunately, I will not openly support them due to this connection with Mark Walter. I respect your opinion on that, Hernan. I really do. And if that's the case, I understand and respect your decision. I understand why. And again, I as someone who hosts the Lakers channel, again, I try to avoid any political issues with it. I mean, off the camera, I have my supports and I don't have my supports. I'm just let you know as far as my political leanings. I'm an independent. I'm not affiliated with any political party. So again, I try to relay that to you guys as far as in here. I don't try to put any political stuff in here as well. But Hernan, I do appreciate you continue to support us here at the LFB, but you're going to start openly supporting the Nets. Hernan, any other team but the Nets. That team is a mess. See my conversation on Monday that I posted to the channel on Tuesday, because Monday was for subscribers, but Tuesday, NBA observations with Caleb Ponce. I go into heavy detail on the Nets. Maybe you would want to change your mind after you hear my conversation on the Nets. And because that team might give you a lot of pain, Hernan. Might give you a lot of pain in the near future. 805 says Laker Tom getting a verbal written warning. Well, I don't know. You tell me, because he said, again, if you check out the Lakerholics show from this morning after the show today, he said that he and Mark Walter is following him on Twitter, and they had a conversation, and supposedly they're now Twitter friends for whatever that's worth. So, okay, you know, if it's the real Mark Walter or if it's Mark Walter, we'll wait and see. I just asked Tom, I said, hey, did Mark Walter ask you for your credit card number? So there you go. Martin says, let's change the channel to a Spurs bandwagon. Martin, I've told you on this show before, I am financially invested in Victor Wembanyama. I am one of the few holders on the planet of his first appearance, of the ticket of his first appearance here in the United States. It is hopefully will be a very valuable commodity. I've got it in hopefully good enough condition. I haven't gotten it graded yet. They don't PSA. It's hard to grade a ticket. They don't, for some reason. It's not that big. It's just like this. One of these days, I'll take it out of the box and I'll show you guys. But it's not that big. I don't understand why they just hassle me, because I went to a card show. I was covering a card show for the Pop Culture Cosmos, and I said, "Can I just get this graded? It's smaller than a card. Shouldn't be a problem, right?" "No, we can't get this graded for you." I was like, "Okay, whatever." Now you have to send it in. I'm like, "Oh, great, whatever." Why am I not impressed with this, Gerald? We had injuries today. Well, again, it's a matter of effort, and today, it's a come and go, Patroon. Monday, we went in there shorthanded, and we gave an extra effort to a team that was let down, and obviously thinking, or planning to play a team with better players in the starting line for the Lakers. That didn't happen. So there is a natural letdown, obviously, that you guys see. We all see this in the NBA, that there's a natural letdown that teams have when the best players are not playing on that floor. And you have to put that out of your mind and focus on because if you can't in the NBA, what is it? 30 times 450 players. The best 450 people are on the planet playing basketball are in the NBA. And if you don't take it seriously, days like today happen. So even if you're a 13th or 14th guy on the Atlanta Hawks, you know what? You need to be taken seriously because days like this happen. Like I said, Petru, Monday, Portland didn't take the Lakers seriously and they got bit in the ass. Guess what happened today? The Lakers didn't take Atlanta seriously because Atlanta had their top 3 players out to start with. They had more people out as well, and they got bit in the ass. So you win some, you lose some. It comes right back at you if you don't take it seriously indeed. And here today to go ahead and talk about today's game is a happy man who's having a good weekend now. It is, of course, the man from I Got Next Sports Media, my good friend. It is Legend. Great to have you here. Congratulations on the victory. But as I'm trying to correlate to these guys, that are obviously upset about what happened tonight, again, you go into this game knowing that Atlanta does not have its top 3 players playing. Mm-hmm. And it's mental. People talk about the game being mental. This is a prime example of that, about how you go into a game, you lose focus, for even just a little bit, and it costs you. And the Lakers came out of that half already being down by double digits, and they lost more focus. And it would steamroll the success early on that the Atlanta Hawks had, their passing, their movement around the perimeter, their execution on their three-pointers. It allowed them to gain confidence, just like on Monday with the Lakers. It allows you to gain confidence and play at a level maybe that the other team wasn't expecting. And that's exactly what we saw tonight, my friend.
Well, first I want to say shout out to Hawks.
And no, too. No, Alexander Walker as well, too. Yes, their top 4 players were out.
We're missing 4 people today. And Gerald can tell you, I said it on the Laker Hall today. I didn't expect them to win. It was missing a lot of people. Like, you asking a lot out of what you had available. But that's why I want to say shout out to my Hawks. They did good. They came in and they played the way they needed to. You got to work as a team. You're missing a lot of people. So I had to give them applause because I didn't think they'll win this game. I actually expected the Lakers to come in and do what happened to them. But, things happen. And it just lets you know it's the NBA. Anything can happen. And that's what tonight lets you know. If you sit here and you don't take an opponent seriously, you get your butt handed to you. That's what happens. And that's what happened. And truthfully, I will say it just lets you know what it's like when you just don't have all your players, and you're gonna have a lot of nights like this. That's why I agree with what Gerald said earlier about slow down on the championship stuff right now. It's the beginning of the season. It's an 82-game season. It's a long season. You're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have a lot of them. It's going to happen. You experienced it last season. You went on, I think, like a 20-game winning streak, and back in January to February. I mean,
no, we went on a streak that it wasn't 20 games or anything like that, but it was when we were like number 1 in defense. It was just right around the Luka trade, and then shortly thereafter, where we were playing at a level that was number 1 in defense in the entire NBA, and it led to a very good record for the Lakers over that period of time. It catapulted them to pretty much where they were in the standings as far as reaching number 3. But again, the season is a lot of ups and downs, and it's how you navigate through them. There are going to be dud. Even Oklahoma City is going to have a dud at some point in time during the season. I mean, on the back-to-back in Portland, right after they lost to the Lakers, Portland got them.
Yep.
And Oklahoma City had themselves a dud.
And they was up.
Again, yeah, it happens. But you have to stay focused. And the thing is, when you see that there's no Porzingis, when you see that there's no Nickeil Alexander-Walker, when there's no Trae Young, when there's no Jalen Johnson, you have to focus as a team because you've got to understand, Legend, 450 players, 450 people on the planet are good enough to play in the NBA. They have to be good enough to play NBA-level basketball on any given night. And we saw this from Nick Smith Jr. On that given night, he showed he is a NBA player. Now, since then, he hasn't shown us a whole lot after that. But these guys, even at the back end of the rosters, they can show you on any given night that they can have and be and play at a level that can beat other teams. And we saw that tonight at Atlanta. We saw that Monday night in Portland. You have to stay focused if you're the team with the superior talent going into that game.
I totally agree, Gerald. When you guys got to stay focused. And that's why I really expected the Lakers to roll in and beat them, because we missing most of our starters. I know Lakers missing a lot of people too. You missing Austin, LeBron, Gabe. You missing some people too. But you still had Luka over there. That's the problem. Like, well, you should still be able to control this game. Luka is on that side with you still. We don't have a Luka in Atlanta right now. And that's sometimes what I think about in that draft a little bit too. Hawks drafted Luka and get traded away for trade. Well, that make me mad when I think about that part. But I feel like you guys should have won that game, but it happens. It's the NBA, like Gerald said. You in the NBA, you definitely can play in the NBA. If your role players are good enough to step up. Everybody on that bench was probably the number 1 player at that college or wherever they played at before they got to the NBA. So they already proven they deserve to be there. You gotta take people seriously, and that's what happened. It bit you tonight, and now you got to go into your next game as it's a must win. You can't go forward to go lose back to back, especially when you got Oklahoma coming up. You got to win the next game. You got to win the next game because Oklahoma don't
That's
come
two
into
game.
this
That's the
game.
2 games. There's another game before
Okay,
that, but
two games.
Oklahoma's
Okay.
coming up on Wednesday. But I get what you're saying, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. With the Lakers, they now have no margin for error on this trip.
Yep.
This is the game that they should have had, that they should have won. And over the course of time, Legend, these are the games when you're battling for a high seed in the Western Conference. These games where you had essentially an easy W on the schedule, you got to execute and win those games. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow at Charlotte on Monday, looks like it should be an easy win for the Lakers. But like you said, and like I said earlier, you just cannot take these things for granted.
You gotta take them. That's why I was mad with the Warriors when you sat there and dropped to the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis. You sat there and dropped to the Pacers, who was absolute garbage. You shouldn't have lost to them. Them type of games, you can't lose that. You're in the Western Conference. You're gonna be bundled up. Them 1 or 2 losses can be what separates you from top 2, top 3 seed all the way down to 8, 9, 7. That's what makes the difference. That's why when people like, well, why Giannis don't want to come to the West Coast, you can't blame him. I'd rather be in the East if I honestly, it's a lot easier to get to the finals versus the West when your chances to get to the finals are like this slim. So, I mean, you got to win the games that you're supposed to win, especially if it's somebody in your conference. That's even worse because then they're going to have that over you when it's time to decide the seeding part. They're going to have that little edge over you to take your spot over you if they don't outwon you throughout the season. So, these type of games, you got to win games that you're supposed to win, especially if they're in your conference. Even more if they're in your division, you have to win them games. So Pelicans, all them games, you can't lose them. You cannot lose them.
You can't lose them. Those are the games that you need to win. I was just texting the Lakerholics crew that was on earlier today because Laker Tom had said about Jamie Sweet, aka Admiral Akbar, because he always calls these trap games. Today was a trap game.
Yep.
It's a trap. Yeah. And Admiral Akbar was right, aka Jamie Sweet. It was a trap for the Lakers as they lose 122 to 102. I give Quinn Snyder a lot of credit, just like I gave JJ a lot of credit on Monday for getting what was left of his team ready to beat a much superior Portland team at that point in time with, a lot of players that were available and healthy outside of Scoot Henderson. Today, it was a lot of people out for Atlanta. Quinn Snyder executed a game plan. It's funny because sometimes when you don't have those star players on your team, they somehow, the guys that are left, the guys, the 12th, 13th, 14th guy, the first rounder, Asa Newell, who played extremely well today, those guys, sometimes they listen to the coach a little bit better. And sometimes these coaches know what they're talking about when they talk about passing the ball around, moving the ball around, getting open shots, getting open looks. Sometimes these coaches know what they're talking about, Legend. It's not always, okay, Trae Young, ISO, if you're going to want to, go ahead. Sometimes when these players are out, it allows the coach to coach more effectively and get his message across to the rest of the team. It somehow works like that. I saw that on Monday. I think I saw a little bit of that tonight.
It does be like that. It basically letting the coach, not just the player, but the coach can coach a little more freer now because you ain't got that. I got to make sure my star player is satisfied. I ain't stepping on toes and all that. So you can coach be free, and as well as your role players can around your team can step up and play a little more freer when your best player is not out there. That does happen a lot in today's basketball. A lot of guys can play more free. Just like with LeBron being out, I feel like a lot of guys on the Lakers can play a little bit more freer. Not long LeBron is not out there with you. Now, what it's like when he get back, I have no idea how they're gonna be. But hopefully he can
That's the $1 million question I think a lot of people are asking, Legend.
I wonder if he's gonna be willing to step back, let the new generation step in.
It is Jerry's fault, Danny, on the Cowboys. It's no one else's but Jerry's fault. There's nowhere else you can point the blame than on nothing but Jerry. Jerry right there. That's all I'll say on that one. But once again, the Lakers do lose 122 to 102. Again, to clarify, it was the first game for Victor Wembanyama here in the United States. It was in Henderson, a suburb of Las Vegas. It was G League against his French team, the French pro team that he was playing for before he got drafted. It was on ESPN and all that. We went in, and the tickets were on our phone. As far as it's concerned, it wasn't paper based. But as I walked in, and they scanned me and go. They scanned it and they said, I walked in, I saw them with printers attached to them. Legend, they had printers attached, to the waist. And I said, can you print me a ticket of today's game? And the lady, she did, but the first one came out torn. And I'm like, no, if Wemby hits, I'm going to want a clean one. So can you print me out a nicer one? Can you print me out a complete one? So she did reprint out there. So yes, I have a torn one and a complete one, but you had to ask for it because everybody going in there was like 3,000 or 4,000 people. It wasn't really a large house. You had to scan in. So basically you had to ask for a printed ticket of that game. And I don't think many people did. And so, Victor, keep playing well, my friend. Keep playing well. We'll just leave it at that. But Kurt,
making that ticket more valuable.
Exactly. Kurt, great to have you here. Kurt says, I just hope Laker Tom gets Mark Walter to make some big trades to help course correct.
I was wondering, that's the real Mark Walter that reached out.
You know what? I have royalty from other countries reach out to me on a daily basis, Legend. They ask for a lot of good things. And I also am, according to lawyers in the UK, they send me emails all the time saying I'm the benefactor and I'm millions of dollars richer that I was left, to by a long distant relative that recently passed away. So, we live in that era, Legend. So I'm just going to say that if Tom believes it, fine. I don't know how much I can take from that. All I can say is, if you want to listen to that show earlier today, Legend did, when Tom talks about his relationship now on Twitter with Mark Walter, go ahead and check that out. You can decide for yourself if Tom is going to get swindled out of millions of dollars or if it's just going to be just a great conversation he's talking to Mark Walter. Indeed.
That's definitely cool. That's pretty cool right there.
Yes. Kurt says Laker Tom said Mark Walter is focusing on the Lakers now after Dodgers. Well, free agency for baseball is around the corner. So, if you want that three-peat, your focus has to always be on the Dodgers as well. But the Lakers lose 122-102. I'm here with Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. You guys have been great in the chat, keeping me updated and keeping me invested in what's going on. You're keeping my spirit up after a tough loss, but Legend, for him, it's a great win. So Legend, let me ask you this real quick. Your thoughts, what Atlanta can do with this, because they've had a very disappointing season so far. They're 5-5 with today's victory. What kind of momentum can you take from this? We talked about what the Lakers have to do to turn it around on the road trip. What does Atlanta need to do now to go ahead and turn it around for their season to use this as momentum going forward?
Well, definitely get healthy first. You want to get your team healthy, but you want to build on to what you just did today. Do I expect Zachary to be this hot, scorching hot from three? No, I don't expect that. But still have something pertaining from what you just did today. You got to go into these games, focus, do what you did today, play with that sense of urgency. Because that's what I feel like I heard most. I didn't get to watch the game. I was with my soon-to-be in-laws, but I had a chance to really sit there and listen to the game. And that's what you want to hear.
Congratulations, Legend. Congratulations to you.
Well, I haven't really.
I've heard girlfriend. I've heard girlfriend. I haven't heard fiance. So
I'm planning for her to be there next year. I'm gonna start preparing for that.
Okay.
Right, but I'm hoping though the Hawks can build off of this part and just do what you did today. We got to just play as a unit. To go by what the Warriors went by some years back. Play in numbers. That's what we can do at this point when you're missing so many people. And then when they come back, you just got to do the same thing. Still keep that strong defensive mindset. Not going to be that scorching hot from three, but still knock it down at a decent rate. And we're going to be all right. You can turn this season around. It's still early. It is still early. You can still do a lot of things. This season is not over yet. And that's why I try to tell so many people, when you start off, whether you starting off good, starting off bad, starting off slow, whatever, it's early. What you look like when January and February get here, that deadline appear, that's when you can probably start beginning to hit the panic button. But this early, I wouldn't out relax and see how stuff flows out. You still got time to get some things going. So didn't start out the way I would like the Hawks to, but we got time to turn this ship around. We in the Eastern Conference. That's the best thing, at least. If you was in the West, maybe I would panic a little bit. Because the West is the Wild Wild West, is what they call it.
Kurt, good looking out for him again. I think Legend is, and I think we're all worried for Laker Tom. Senior citizens get preyed on the most with scams and things of that nature. My mom, at the age of 91, she last year fell victim to the scam just by picking up her phone, and we weren't privy. Her family, us, weren't privy to what she was doing, and we had to go through a lot of work. There had a lot of work to be done in order to get the money that was right back. It's a real thing, guys. This scamming is a real thing. It took a lot of work to get all the money back that she was scammed out of. And I'm worried for that for Tom because, he talks about him building a house, retirement house that he could spend the rest of his life. He's in his 80s already. And I'm very worried for him that something will happen. But, if he believes it, then there you go, Kurt. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, I am generally worried as well, Kurt. So I'll just leave it at that. But as far as the athletics games, if they give me a comp, if I get a comp, I'll go. I went to the Raiders games because that's the only way I'll go is for free. And so, yeah, I went to the Raiders game when they were here last week. Not the other game that was in Denver, but the Raiders game last week. Yeah, I went that for free. But yeah, I'm not paying for the Las Vegas A's to stink up the joint right there for you. But send me a free ticket. I'll go. I'll see what it's all about. But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. I'm on with my good friend Legend. I got Next Sports Media. It is the Lakers losing 122-102. Truly appreciate Legend stopping by. Again, we'll stay on with you guys for a few more minutes.
A subscriber.
Oh, thank you, the GC Laker, for subscribing. You got my subscribing voice. Yay, a subscriber. So there you go. That's Legend probably has heard that way too many times already. But you like the fact that you are subscribed. Thank you so much for doing so. How's the Legion? I like the stadium, 805. Las Vegas, I was actually against building a stadium because I didn't want the Raiders here. I love the Raiders. They broke my heart in Los Angeles. Then I just told them to drop dead once they went back to Oakland. And then of course, they came here. So I'm kind of like there with the Raiders. I'm not a huge fan at all, but I will go to free games when I'm given comps for them. Allegiant Stadium is a nice, really state of the art stadium. As I've been to it a few times now, it is really a well done stadium. I hate the fact that whenever we want a sports team, Legend, we always tax you, the visitor, tax you, the tourist. Las Vegas was built on affordability and easy accessibility that people could fly in, like Atlanta, like where you're nearby in Georgia. Atlanta, Atlanta is one of the major flying hubs in the United States. Same thing with Las Vegas. It's always always been easy to get in and out, cheap flights, cheap hotels to go in. You spend some money there. Sometimes you win, a lot of times you'll lose, and then go. It's not like that anymore. And again, a lot of that is based off stuff that we helped build. The T-Mobile Arena, the stadium. Now this stadium, a lot of that was built off of the money that private investors try to put in, but a lot of that was built off of what tourists are paying for when they come in, as far as those extra taxes are concerned. And that always concerns me because, again, if Las Vegas isn't perceived as a great value as far as a destination, people stop coming to Vegas, and that will really hurt our economy here locally. And I'll just leave it at that. But Allegiant is a beautiful stadium, nonetheless, 805. And I'll leave it. I just wish, if the things we were going to spend money on would have been like a movie studio. 2 movie studios were proposed here in recent years, and both were turned down. Yet we want the A's here in baseball. So I don't. Sometimes I just don't get what people do. But at the time, 805 in the 80s and 90s and 2000s, it was built on affordability. Absolutely, you could get a room easily under $50. You could come in here. You could, as far as a flight here for $50 from many areas around the country, and you could get in and out real easily and not spend a whole lot of money. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. 805, and I readily admit that, and that's part of the problem here in 2025, not just for Vegas, but the entire world. Easy says Raiders should be in LA instead of the Chargers. Again, Easy, they broke my heart when they left Los Angeles, and I'll just leave it at that. Current Fair, you should try to get some comps for the Sphere for Cosmos. I got 2 for the Wizard of Oz, and they went to my girls. They wanted them. They wanted to experience the Wizard of Oz. They said it was a great time. They did get one of the rare apples, I guess, that they gave out. So yeah, that was cool. But the experience is really cool at the Sphere. I have yet to see the Sphere inside Sphere, but trust me, I do. I may want to pay. I may pay for that actually coming up. I should have gone to U2. I should have gone to U2 live, but looking at that. But Legend, getting it back to you, my friend. Getting it back to the game. Lakers game, 122 to 102. I veered off like Joe Soro does. Bringing it back to you again. The Lakers, as an NBA team, 7-3, still obviously a very good start, 70%.
Mm-hmm.
For a team that hasn't fielded its full team yet, I mean, you've got to still be happy with what the start is, despite the misery of today's loss. Overall, if you'd have told me 7-3 the first 10 games, Luka would miss some time, AR would miss some time, LeBron would miss the entire time. I'll tell you what, I'll take 7-3 every time.
Yeah, I agree. I will see, like, I know a lot of people are upset, but like honestly, you should be happy. To me, 7-3, knowing that you had Luka in and out, Reeves in and out, and currently out right now, LeBron out this whole time period, that's pretty good. Like, that's a heck of a start, knowing that you're missing 3 main guys. Like, I wouldn't complain it was me. I would have been thinking of being some way the other round, being like 5-5 or I don't know, 6-4 or something like that. 7-3 seems pretty good. Like, that's a lot better than what a lot of people would expect when you're missing guys like that. So I think there's a lot of things to still be happy about. Yeah, today was, definitely bad and embarrassing, but that happens. It's the NBA. There's gonna be a lot of embarrassing games and bad moments. It's gonna happen. You just gotta take the good out of the bad situation and move forward. Learn from what happened and keep going. Improve and build off of it. Don't go into the next game still soaking about, well, we just lost to the, you can't worry about it no more. That game over, move on. It's just like college football. We lost last Saturday, move on. You got another game Saturday. Worry about the one that's coming up. You gotta move on. As long as you do that, you'll be fine. Like, I wouldn't worry about it. 7-3 is a good start. I said, especially when you missing key guys. To me, these type of games, you just learn from them. Keep going. You got the next 2 games still coming up. You can easily make it up. Like Gerald said at the beginning of the show, if you were to go beat either Milwaukee or Oklahoma, that to me erases that whole Hawks loss. Just like that instantly. You should win the 2 easy games that come. Them 2 easy games will still take them seriously. But you should win them 2 games. If you manage to steal the Thunders or Bucks, that's a major win. So, I wouldn't worry about it too much. 7-3 good. Hold on to it. You just gotta hold on to it. Don't start sliding.
We talked about scams, Legend, about my mom and about possibly Laker Tom and his new friend Mark Walter. As we say that on Lakers Fast Break at yahoo.com. By the way, you guys, if you have any questions or whatnot and you don't want to put it in the chat or in the YouTube channel, you can always email me, LakersFastBreak at yahoo.com. I get an email, confirmed, you have won a Stanley tool set. So you look at so when you get these things, guys, always look at who sent it to you. Mm-hmm. And if the email says, if the email addressee says mixpocket at gain.uvjcream.com, no, I don't think that you should follow through with that. Just maybe a kind of a little note there, but yeah, just saying.
Yeah. Just saying. Get a lot of them scam calls to my phone. They love the calls.
Yes. Oh, sometimes living in 2025 is a pain in the side. I'll just say that. But you guys have been tremendous on the post game. Truly appreciate it. But before we head on out, Legend, you rocked it as always. Everybody seems to like you, and you do such a great job. I got Danny say, love Legend on the show. Everybody loves Legend on the show. You just always do such a tremendous job. So keep it going, my friend. But you have got your own main channel where you're even better on the screen. And before I go ahead and announce some things that happened on the channel about Magic Man, my blow up with John Costa, who is not here tonight. He said he was going to be on the show. Could have been by what happened on Friday. I'll just leave it at that. But Legend, what's going on with I Got Next Sports Media?
Well, I am definitely going to get ready to do maybe like 2 videos. I'm going to talk about, how Wemby started off. I want to talk about your Lakers, talk about how Austin and Luka have been doing, to me, a tremendous job together. The emergence of Austin Reeves, he's going to get paid this summer. And then I'm also going to do a video that's doing a shout out to my Hawks. I'm very proud of them tonight. They stepped up big, and I'm going to do a little something about them, and then do the video that's going to probably hurt the hardest is talk about my disappointment with the Warriors, and just don't look pretty right now. Don't look too pretty.
Well, Kurt, we found somebody who thinks you're a jerk. Kurt Affair thinks you're a jerk. Oh, wait, just kidding. Great guy. Okay. Kurt, we love you, brother.
Love you,
but
Kurt.
Before we head Kurt is just awesome. But before we head on out, I did mention John Costa and I. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to get your thoughts on this. So what do you do when LeBron comes back? Is one of those options Austin Reeves going up to him and saying, Austin, my boy, my friend, my comrade, my all-star wannabe player, do you want to sit down and come off the bench for the Lakers for the rest of the season now that LeBron's back? Is that what you say? Is that what you say to him, Legend? Because John Costa, if you checked out our Friday show, and he's not here today to defend himself. Oh, but you know what? When he goes back, I will make sure this argument is restored. Is that what you say to Austin Reeves right now?
That's pretty disrespectful to bring that up right now. That's a slap in the face right there if you do that. Because he putting up almost 30. He putting up all-star numbers right now. You can't come and say that. That to me, if you say that, you might lose him completely at that point. Because that's to me the biggest slap in the face. I don't did all this. I'm basically helping you be 73 right now. And this is how you approach me. I'll probably check out at that point. That's the ultimate disrespect. There's no way you can do that. You just can't. His agent ain't finna have it. I know he's not finna have it. There's no way. He's not doing that. You can't do that.
And Joe used this before. Joe used this excuse before, which was actually more valid before coming the season, because that's where I thought he was going to be best at, 6 man on a championship team. So you're thinking Manu Ginobili, and he used that vernacular. And back then, it was much more valid. Going into Friday, that's valid. It's not so much because, but John will use that vernacular. And again, check out our entire conversation. Most of it was great. Then you saw our disagreement in about the middle of the show. So please check that out. But he used the Manu Ginobili comparison. And I'm just like, you don't understand what life in the NBA is really like in 2025. This is not pop.
Yeah.
Good graces. Mono being going along with the flow because he knows he's a better part of the team. It's like I don't know if you saw the Lakerholics earlier today. People are taking it for granted. Oh, Austin will sign. He'll sign for a discount. He'll sign just to be cute.
Oh, not these players in this era.
Don't take anything for granted. Don't take winning tonight. You took winning for tonight for the granted. Look what happens. Yep. Look what happens when you take things for granted. Don't take anything for granted. And in today's 2025 NBA players, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's millions of dollars. No matter if he was Manu Ginobili coming off the bench and the best 6 man out there, there's a ceiling where those guys are paid at. Look at Naz Reid, one of the best 6 men in the NBA, just got paid, but it's only for what, 25 million-ish, or I think right in there. Yeah, that's not where a guy like you said playing at an all-star level right now wants to be paid. Those guys want to get paid the max. As funny as that sounds, people are starting to talk about Austin and the max. And that's 45 million. That might be even higher that he might be asking for. And you're asking a guy with 28 years old, with one major contract, multi-year contract, it's looming very large in a summer, Legend, where it's only him and Trae Young as the major names on the marquee that might be available as a unrestricted free agent as far as top tier players. With 6 or 8 teams possibly having cap space, including the Lakers, by the way. How do you guys take it for granted that he will still just go ahead and merrily take a discount? This is the only chance for him to make life generational income and leaving tens and 20, 10, 20, 30, $40 million on the table. I ask you guys, would you guys do that?
Well, just about
Legend,
to say
would you?
thing. Nope, I'm taking the money. I mean, this generation, they're taking the money. Look at what Dennis Schroeder did back in 21, I think 21, 22, when he should have probably took that money with the Lakers. He took a chance on it, so he wanted more money. This generation ain't about to do the Manu Ginobili stuff, taking the pay cut for loyalty. Yeah, that's out the window in this generation. These boys trying to get paid. And let's all keep it real. Like Gerald said, most of you guys gonna do the exact same thing Austin gonna do. Go get paid. Because this is the one moment you can set up not just your life, but your family life, your kids' life. They can all be good off of this one decision. A lot of you guys know if somebody, let's say if Milwaukee Bucks called you right now and said, we'll pay you 195 or 120 million to come to Milwaukee, you're gonna take it. You're going to take it.
Washington. Washington's going to have a ton of money. I'm just throwing out this one team. There could be, I know there's going to be others, but they will have a ton of money. You think they don't want to build a foundation for the young crew going forward with a veteran like him, Legend, at the point?
I mean, can't blame him.
I'm just saying, I'm throwing that out there. I'm just throwing it out there. But everybody's taking it for granted that he's going to take this discount. Everybody's taking it for granted he'll be happy to go be a 6-man off the bench. Everybody's happy, taking it for granted that he's going to do this and that. I'm just telling you guys to keep your options open and understand that Tony Baloney, one of your great followers, Legend, he has it right. What he's doing now also increases his trade value. Because there is a likelihood, and I mentioned this today to the Lakerholics, there's a possibility that he could leave, and you leave and he get nothing in return.
That would be a disaster. That would be a disaster if you let him walk for nothing. That's why I said, I think the other night when I said you gotta, before that trade deadline get here about next month, you really need to sit down and have a conversation with him and be like, throw your numbers out there that you know you're gonna be willing to do. And if he ain't willing to accept it, or he's like, I'm looking for more, go and begin looking for the trade. Do not let that man walk for nothing, because that's disastrous. That hurt way worse than when you let the other guy who walked out this past summer and went to Houston. That hurt way worse than that. That would be a disaster.
And I don't know if you guys want to commit to it or not commit to that kind of money for him. I understand that he people still the defensive issues with a Luka and Austin backcourt. I said on the show earlier today, you look at the statistics. You look at the statistics at the playoffs. When he focuses on defense and slows down Murray statistically and Edwards statistically, like he did in the playoffs, his offense dramatically suffers. When he focuses on offense in the playoffs, like he did in the Memphis series, his defense suffers. He has to prove in the playoffs he can do well on both sides of the ball, which we'll see, which will get him ultimately the paycheck he might be looking for, whether it's from the Lakers or someone else. But I'm asking you guys, just don't take it for granted. Like tonight, Legend, just don't take it for granted something's going to happen to the NBA just because you believe it's going to be so. There are factors all around in the NBA that we're not aware of, agents, coaches, things of that nature. Like tonight with today's game, there were, coaches that Quinn Snyder tonight gave obviously some type of emphatic speech or had a game plan in place that he knew if executed properly would beat the Lakers. And because the Lakers lost focus, just like Portland lost focus on Monday night. And Antoine, you're right. Great win for the Hawks, bad loss for the Lakers, but they have 4 other chances to right the ship and hopefully get out of this road trip with a winning record, Legend.
Yeah, they got chances, and that's why I say, wash it away, keep moving. You can't drill on these type of losses. You just gotta, you know what? It's over. Next game, let's go. That's why I love college football so much. When the coaches say, "Look, we lost this Saturday, game over. Let's head to next Saturday." You got to move forward. It's over. Because what's worrying about it gonna do at the end of the day? What's crying about it? Anything gonna do? It's not gonna change it. The L is gonna still be in the book. You guys got to move on. Can't control the past, but you can control the future. That's all you can do at this point. Just learn from it, move on. Worry about the next game that's coming up. And then plus, you got to remember, Austin, they're gonna come back. They're coming back. So you all right. Worry about what's coming forward. To me, worry about your couple of games and then get ready for the part of the hardest game out of the whole 5 games. You get ready for Oklahoma. That's the toughest one on the whole schedule for these 5 games right now. So you guys good. Don't worry about it. Let's move forward.
It was on Twitter, posted by Kobe Price. I put in the chat, by far the shortest post-game presser from a frustrated JJ Redick after the Lakers got blitzed by the short-handed Hawks. Yeah, not much to say after this one. But Legend, you were tremendous as always. You killed it. Big shout out to Antoine. Big shout out to go ahead, make sure you check out Antoine Willis's work on the NBA, the Lakers, and more. On his and also great stuff on Fansided and also Lakers Land as well on Twitter. So go ahead and support him there as well. Make sure you go ahead and check him out, his great work there. But of course, Legend at I Got Next Sports Media. Big shout out to No Joker. Big shout out to Kurt. Big shout out to Best and everybody that was part. Danny and everybody was part. 805. Everybody was part. Mike Johnson. Get ready for off. Oh yeah, Mike, you will. Yes. I don't know if it'll be on Bronny, but it'll be on JJ. I think it'll be more on JJ. Yes, I think the awful coaching this time, because he's been lately on the coaches, talking about bad coaches. If you've seen his latest videos, awful coaching for our audio listeners out there, awful coaching on YouTube. If you check it out, it is hilarious. I don't know if he'll focus.
Funny.
Yes, he is. I don't know if he'll focus on a Bronny-centric one. I think he'll focus on a JJ-centric one. He usually will have it within the next 20 or 30 minutes. So, yeah, go ahead and hit him up. Awful Coaching on YouTube. It's a hilarious listen, and I'll leave it at that. But I'm sure he'll have quite a bit to say on the Lakers this evening. Kurt Affair says, everyone, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps others to find the channel. Also, like and subscribe with I Got Next Sports Media. No Joker says, grab a coffee, G. Yeah, actually, I'm actually going to go and grab some food for the family because they wanted to go ahead and have some dinner. My son is here from Reno visiting, and they're chatting now, and they're waiting for me to end and shut up so I can go ahead and get them some food. So everybody want to make sure that you guys, again, loss. Hey, I'll take a 7-3 record, Legend, after 10 games. So I'm really glad to hear it. I'm glad that, as far as what you're doing, I'm glad the Lakers are 7-3 despite a tough loss tonight. Let's keep it focused, guys. Let's keep it focused and keep it positive. 7-3. I did not expect that, especially with all the injuries that have happened to the Lakers, all the games that are missed already by the Lakers starters. So I'm really happy. If you told me that, I said I'll take it because they're still one of the top teams in the West, and it's a good start, and hopefully they will sustain it moving forward. But for Legend, it's Gerald Glassford. Go ahead and check out I Got Next Sports Media. Please like and subscribe. No Joker, thank you so much for the super chat. I will be grabbing a coffee. I will say that we'll be back on Monday. We're going to take Sunday off. Monday, we'll be back. Legend, I got to get you on one of our NBA observations. I got Caleb Fonzie on a Monday morning. We record that, and then I show that for everybody on Tuesday. Members get it earlier. I'm going to do that sometime in the next week or so. We'll get some more NBA observations on you. I like to put in more of those for our audience to get that during the course of the day. So, yeah. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for an email from me from LakersFastBreak at yahoo.com. So,
will do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tough. I will. Tough, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad, Tough. I know that just do me a favor. Like I told you before the game started, don't take the NBA game for granted. Anything can happen, as we saw tonight and as we saw on Monday. What works for you on Monday
may not work the next day.
Yep, may work against you on Saturday. But still great to have you here. Still blessed to have you part of what we're doing. If you have someone out there that's an NBA fan or Lakers fan, please have them like and subscribe. I really need your help trying to get us to a higher level as far as going. I want to be able to get a platform where all these great people that stop by, the Lakerholics, Legend, everybody that stops by, I can help their platforms get larger as well. John Costa, Clutch Talk on Lakers Corner, Joe Soro with his Joe Soro experience. I really want us to get big so we can help them get big as well. I wanted to go back and pay the community forward and really do some good things so we can get all of us to the level and have our voices be heard by a lot more people. But Best League is saying 2-3 on the road trip. Not the way you want to start it out.
Yeah.
So you may be right, Best, but I'm hoping not. But we'll see. Monday, it is Charlotte. We'll bring it to you. The game is at 4 p.m. Pacific. Then afterwards, the best post game that's out there. No other place you can find it for the Lakers than right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. And from all of us, you guys have yourselves a fantastic weekend. Enjoy. Forget this game. Put this game out of your mind. Just, enjoy.
Start Christmas shopping early.
Yes. Black Friday is around the corner.
It's around the corner.